We've got some new information on the Ippei Mizuhara betting scandal. When will Walker Buehler rejoin the Dodgers rotation? An update after he made his 6th rehab start, and an unbelievable game for the Dodgers last night. What a buzzkill. That's coming up next here on Dodgers Dugout.
It's time for Dodger baseball.
Welcome to Dodger Stadium. Dodgers win!
This is the golden age of Dodger baseball.
Grand slam! It's a double for Freddie.
They're going to make big signings. They're going to make impact trades. This is the most anticipated season in Dodgers history.
Dodgers have won it all in 2020.
Think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out. What is up, Dodgers Nation? Doug McKain here, credential member of Dodgers Media. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. Now, if you haven't yet, do us a huge favor and subscribe to the #1 Dodgers YouTube channel in the game. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, hit that like button. Also, comment Siler Glass now down below so you're eligible for our next giveaway at 90,000 subscribers. We're getting close, and once we hit that 90K, we're giving away a brand new, authentic Tyler Glasnow jersey. So if you want to be eligible to win, and if you want to be eligible to win any of our giveaways, subscribe to the channel and comment done down below, Siler Glasnow down below. If you ever comment, you're going to be eligible to win that giveaway. But first, a reminder that this episode is brought to you by our friends over at BetOnline. BetOnline is your #1 source for all your summer sports this season, from Major League Baseball to golf to the NBA to the NHL playoffs. All the latest stats, news, and scores available to follow your favorite teams. Get the latest odds and lines, including the latest team matchups, player props, and odds on just about every sport out there. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to get in on the action. Bet online, where the game starts. And also, I want all your takes down below in the comment section. What are your expectations for Walker Buehler when he comes back? Is he going to pitch like an ace? Is he going to pitch like a #3 starter? Is he going to struggle? I want all your takes about Walker Buehler. And do you think he'll be back next season? That's coming up next here on Dodgers Dugout. And for all the latest Dodgers news, head over to DodgersNation.com. So anytime the Dodgers come to town, you know there's going to be a buzz. And last night was no different. But this buzz wasn't because of Shohei Ohtani and this Los Angeles Dodgers team. It was because of a bee colony that formed behind home plate that caused a 1 hour and 55-minute delay. Now, I don't know if there was going to have Beat LA chants that were going to turn into bee delay chants, but it was a very strange sight. There was some talk that the game might have been postponed, but thankfully not all heroes wear capes. They contacted Matt Hilton, who is from Blue Sky Pest Control in Phoenix, who, by the way, is the official pest control of the Arizona Diamondbacks. I'm just saying that's great promotion right there. I'm not saying this is intentional, but a very big coincidence there. And he came to the scene and he fixed the situation. He told the Los Angeles Times, "We know that this was really important to get these games going. So when we hear that there's bee issues out at Diamondback Stadium, we tried to get at it right away. There was zero traffic, thankfully." And he also told reporters that he was actually attending his son's final T-ball game of the season, so it was fitting. He was at a baseball game, then he goes to the Diamondbacks game. He was up there on a crane, way up in the air. He had the vacuum cleaner. They found the queen bee. There was thousands of bees. He would go on to throw out the first pitch. So what a sight there at Diamondback Stadium, at Chase Field. So, yeah, very interesting stuff. And thankfully, they were able to get this game going. But the Dodgers, they did not win. Christian Walker, he had 2 home runs. And Christian Walker, he just owns the Los Angeles Dodgers. For whatever reason, this guy turns into the best player in Major League Baseball history when it's against the Dodgers. 20 career home runs against LA. He had 2 last night, including the walk-off shot at the end. So it just wasn't meant to be for the Dodgers last night. And you look at the game as a whole, they didn't deserve to win that one. You go 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position. You didn't have an RBI until extra innings. The Dodgers got 2 runs earlier in the game, 1 on a wild pitch, 1 on a balk. So the other thing, too, is the way the bullpen played out. You had Nabil Crismatt out there in extra innings, throwing that changeup, and he got absolutely rocked by Christian Walker. And it was one of my favorite things. I mean, one of my favorite things in Major League Baseball is anytime the pitcher gives up a fly ball and he points to the sky, hoping it's going to end at the warning track. But, of course, it ends up in the fifth row or deeper than that. And yesterday, you had Nabil Crismatt trying to will it foul. You saw him pointing. He was actually pointing in the wrong direction. But still, the Dodgers lose the second game of the three-game series against the Arizona Diamondbacks. And other notes from the game was that Joe Kelly. So Joe Kelly pitching later in that one, and he was pitching on consecutive days, and it was the first time he had pitched in 4 days all season. And he ended up kind of tweaking his groin a little bit there in that one. Dave Roberts said after the game that Kelly tweaked his right groin, fielding that ground ball, and hopefully he's going to be okay. But he definitely grimaced out there, so we'll await an update on that. But you didn't have Evan Phillips. So you didn't have Evan Phillips there for extra innings. He threw 19 pitches on Monday. He threw 25 pitches on Saturday. He would have been pitching for the third time in 4 days. So he was unavailable, and you use him the night before with a 4-run lead, it comes back to bite you. Other thing that really stands out is the day before, the Dodgers, first time since 2006 that they had not struck out in a game. Well, you had 9 strikeouts in this one. Not the worst when you consider you had 41 at-bats, but just weren't able to generate as much offense as you would have hoped. I mean, Shohei Ohtani, he had the bases loaded there in the 5th inning. He struck out. He had 3 strikeouts on the night, so it wasn't the best night for Shohei. And, yeah, Christian Walker does what he does against the Dodgers, going and hitting home runs. 20th home run against the Dodgers in 83 games. He's basically like full Jamal Murray. He's what Jamal Murray is the Lakers, Christian Walker is to the Dodgers. Now, I will say a positive, Landon Knack. How about Mitch Lotta half full take? Landon Knack, he gave up 4 hits and a walk in 5 innings of work, had 2 punch-outs, gave up a leadoff single in the 6th inning, and they pulled him after 64 pitches. So not a horrible outing. Definitely gave his team a chance to win. Did not have a ton of run support. So very impressed with the composure, the poise of Landon Knack, and he hasn't even had his best stuff yet. I mean, I think he's still kicking it into gear, and he was definitely initiated into this Dodgers Diamondbacks series by giving up a solo shot to Christian Walker there in the 4th inning. But you saw him working his way out of jams. You see the competitiveness on every pitch. And I think for me, 3 starts, 2 against the Nationals, 1 against the Arizona Diamondbacks. You have to feel really good about what you've seen from Landon Knack so far. I mean, he's not a world beater. He's not an ace. He's not anything like that. But he is someone that hasn't gotten rocked, right? He didn't have that start like Gavin Stone had last year against the Phillies, or some of these younger pitchers when they go out there and they get chased and you really kind of have your confidence hurt a little bit. But for Landon Knack, I mean, so far so good. 16 innings of work, a 2.81 ERA. The strikeout rate's low at 16.9%. Walk rate at 7.7%, and the FIP is at 5.54. So a big disparity between that FIP and that ERA. The expected ERA is at 4.23. So, yeah, he definitely has had luck on his side so far early in his career. But, hey, the results, they speak for itself. And I think early on, that's what you want from a young pitcher, right? You want luck early, and then you can make those adjustments and start to give you more quality starts and make better pitches and better situations, get that swing and miss up, get those strikeouts up, and then you see those expected numbers go down. But, hey, give him a lot of credit. I mean, he had the delay, still went out there, still made pitches, and he just doesn't look like he's feeling too much pressure. I mean, he said in his first start he did experience some nerves, but been impressed with Landon Knack. I definitely feel good about that. But Dodgers, they lose to the Arizona Diamondbacks yesterday, and they're still in a good spot. I think you look at this road trip as a whole, you lost 2 games so far, and still, I mean, this has been a successful road trip considering that it's the longest road trip of the season. And you got another one tonight, then you got a day off on Thursday. And you look at the standings where the Dodgers sit right now. First place in the National League West at 19-13. 4 games up of the San Francisco Giants, who are now ahead of the San Diego Padres. So still feel really good about this road trip for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Now, next thing I want to talk about, though, is a little update on Ippei Mizuhara. ESPN put out a story yesterday that detailed how the money was being transferred. This is from ESPN.com. The series of $500,000 payments Ippei Mizuhara sent from Shohei Ohtani's bank account to an illegal bookmaking operation were forwarded to California and Las Vegas casinos, where the money was deposited in gambling accounts, converted to playing chips, and later cashed out to pay the bookie. Multiple sources with direct knowledge of the operation told ESPN. Matthew Boyer, the California bookmaker who took Mizuhara's bets, was a frequent customer at Las Vegas Casino Resort World. The sources told ESPN that Mizuhara paid his losses to Boyer's associate, who forwarded the money to his own marker accounts at Resorts World and Pechanga Resort Casino in Southern California. The men then withdrew chips from the marker account, gambled with them, and if they won, cashed out. Unlike sports books where customers have to upfront pay the money, bookies allow people to bet on credit. Mizuhara was one of more than 600 bettors with Boyer's book, ran up a debt of $40.7 million, according to federal authorities. So that tells you right there how that money was being transferred. A lot of people speculate and they wonder and they try to find these theories about how this money was getting transferred. How was Ippei getting access to these accounts? Well, that tells you the extra step that they took to transfer this money. And I think that that's really the big kicker right there, is the difference between having a bookie and the difference between a sports book. And if you look at a bookie, you look at credit, and they were trying to basically sell Mizuhara. That's what a bookie does. A bookie is a salesman. A bookie's job is to encourage the bettor to bet more money, to bet on more games, and that's what he was doing. He was taking advantage of Mizuhara's addiction, and you look at there, ran up a debt of $40.7 million. So, look, I think we have some more details on this that I think add some more clarity. And now you got a casino involved. Now you have chips involved. And now it starts to make a little more sense how they were able to execute this for as long as they did. And the good thing is it does feel like this was a long time ago at this point. It does feel like we're well beyond this. And look, people are going to believe what they want to believe. There's still people out there that think Shohei Ohtani bet on baseball, right? So let them, if they want to do that. Everyone has the right to be wrong. You're entitled to your own wrong opinion if you want that, but here's some more facts that I think distance Shohei Ohtani from this situation based on how they were using the casinos to try to transfer the money as well. And next, we've got an update on Walker Buehler. Butane completed his 6th rehab start yesterday for the Oklahoma City Baseball Club, and you'll never guess what team they played yesterday. Yes, it was the Salt Lake Bees, the Angels' AAA affiliate. You can't make this stuff up. The baseball gods are real, and they are hilarious. And it was a very solid start for Walker Buehler. He ended up going 5 innings. He gave up 1 run on 7 hits, had 5 strikeouts, no walks. His best secondary pitch was that curveball that was responsible for 3 of those 5 punch-outs. And you didn't see explosive velocity. It wasn't vintage Game 163 Walker Buehler where you're seeing 98, 99. He was hitting anywhere from 93 to 95 in that range. And look, the command was better. He's looking more built up. The stamina continues to grow, and they just need a solid version of Walker Buehler to help this rotation. I think if you're expecting a top 10 pitcher, if you're expecting peak Butane, who looks like he's one of the best pitchers in the game, I think it's time for you to recalibrate expectations. That guy might come later as the velocity continues to bump up, when you see the adrenaline, when you see the strength and the confidence continue to improve. But out of the gates, you're not going to see that. And I think the biggest thing was the command. Like I said, through 75 pitches, 54 of those pitches were strikes. Didn't get tons of swing and miss. He got just 6 swinging strikes after getting 15 swing strikes in his last start, but 15 called strikes. So that's definitely telling you that he's painting the zone. He was hitting the corners. He ended up with a 28 called strike and whiff percentage. His previous start, that number was at 32.6. So swing and miss was better in his last start, but the command was better in this start. He ended up giving up a single to Willie Calhoun, a double to Chad Wallach, some names I know you're familiar with. He ended up giving up a couple of hard hit balls. You had 3 hits that had an exit velo north of 100 miles per hour. But all in all, definitely a positive start. And Dave Roberts said a couple days ago that after the start, we'll get him with us if all goes well. So I definitely think that this is what he means by going well. I mean, he didn't get rocked. The command was better. I think that at this point, I don't think it's going to get that much better or prepare himself that much more pitching at the minor league level. I think you have to get him up and get him in a big league game. And it's going to be the first time he's pitched in the majors since June 10th, 2022. So we're talking years ago. So you got to start that process. Dave also said, we'll see how it goes. I don't want to put any extra expectation on Walker. Go out there, pitch well, get out of it healthy, and then we'll make the next move. So all in all, for his rehab starts, he has a 4.15 ERA. He's given up 13 runs, 10 earned, and 21 2/3 innings. He's had 21 punch-outs to 9 walks. So, look, it's done. The process of rehab, to me, is over. I think you got to get him up at this point. I think you're just delaying it if you just go down there and you're almost overthinking it. I mean, at some point you can study as much as you want, but you got to take the test. And the test is him pitching at this level and just getting back, and that's just going to be a big deal for this organization and for Walker Buehler as he gets things going. And look, with James Paxton pitching the way he is, I would not be shocked to see James Paxton make some form of trip to the IL to try to correct those mechanical issues, because he's really struggled with the walk rate at this point. You're seeing it every single start, him struggle with not just full count walks, not just missing in certain spots. We're seeing 4-pitch walks on a consistent basis, and that really tells you, hey, mechanically, that's out of whack. Mechanically, that needs to be addressed. James Paxton has a 19.3% walk rate compared to a 13.2% strikeout rate. Now, the ERA is decent at 3.51. The FIP is at 5.58. So he's due for a bad start when things start to even out. But look, this is what I told people over on Twitter. Don't get up in arms about James Paxton. You have to drive him like a rented car. He was signed on a 1-year deal to eat innings in the regular season and give this rotation as many innings as he possibly can. You're not going to see him start critical, significant games in the postseason. You might not even see him pitch in the postseason at all. His best bet is to be moved into the bullpen if he can be effective, if he can be the James Paxton that he is when he's at his very best and his mechanics are right. So I wouldn't worry about Paxton. I wouldn't lose sleep about Paxton. I think Walker Buehler coming back and Landon Knack looking solid and Gavin Stone looking solid, I think it makes you wonder what they're going to do with Paxton. I think he's a veteran. They want to see him on this team, and he, of course, wants to fix things at this level, but he's been really open about the fact that he just does not have the feel for his mix right now, doesn't have the feel for that fastball or his secondary stuff. So, yeah, Paxton is a project at the moment, but the good thing is he hasn't gotten blown up in a game. He's gotten some key double plays in big spots, so he's not hurting this team, and you just want to see him get to a better spot. He's started 5 games so far, so you want to get as many starts out of him as you possibly can, and you compare him to Noah Syndergaard last season, who was a complete bust. I think it's refreshing when you look at how Paxton is addressing this, that he's not shy about telling the media that he's having issues right now, that he has having issues with getting the feel of his pitches. So I like that mindset, and I think that it's correctable. And the velocity is still fine, and the fact the velocity is where it was when he was effective lets me know that it's something mechanical. So you're talking about release points, you're talking about little tweaks here and there, and then you can get him back to being the pitcher that he is capable of being. So I don't feel too terrible about that, but a healthy Walker Buehler is just going to change this rotation, give them another guy that can go out there and make big starts and hopefully give them quality, because that's absolutely what they need. But that's going to do it for this episode of Dodgers Dugout. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_. _LA. If you haven't yet, do us a huge favor and subscribe to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, hit that like button, and also comment down below. Siler Glass now if you want to be eligible for our next giveaway at 90,000 subscribers. We're going to be back after the game today for a post-game show, so be on the lookout for that. Remember, nothing brings us together quite like Dodger baseball. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.